Producer, I still got the juice, so that's the last time I see you.
Oh!
Yes. So you know I'm here like, that's my song. Every day, like, get ready with me. Yes, get ready with me and Devon. Yes, it's exciting. Okay, so what do you have coming up? What's coming up?
So my album is coming out February 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything?
Yeah. Well, not an album, it's a party. As of right now, I've been doing a lot of like shoots, promos, so I can start putting it out.
Everybody wants the look, the access, the applause, but nobody talks about the cause. This is Decode the Hype, where we break down what success looks like, what it actually takes, and what it quietly takes from you. We are just having real conversations. This is Young Devyn, Hype Magazine. I am here with the young, talented bod gal herself, the divine poet also. Yes, Young Devyn. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming.
Of course. So before we get into your new project and all the new things, I just want to give you your flowers. You know, because life be lifing, and you are here standing beautifully all through all the trials and tribulations, right? So first things first, you know, a lot of artists kind of go through that, having the little or young added to their name. Is Devon giving us this new vibe? Are you taking the young out of your artist name or?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
For sure.
You heard it here first. It is now Devon. It's not Young Devyn. So make sure you guys understand that. Okay. And just let me know something that you've learned being Trinidadian that you wouldn't have learned being American.
Oh, it's a bunch of things you learn being. It's so much things you learn being Trinidadian that you would not know if you was American.
That's a fact.
It's like, you know, like don't let people call you out your house if you're sleeping already. You know, certain things like that. Don't overstay your welcome. You know, walk in a room, say good night. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Good night, good night, good night, good night.
Good night.
It's just certain things, but it's like it all instills principle. I would say for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a part of like my nature and my personality. Yeah. So I'm thankful for it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what do you think the world thinks your life looks like right now?
Busy. Sometimes people think that I can like do everything at one time and be everywhere at once. But I just try to learn to just prioritize myself and like my peace and like my mental health first. So, but yeah, I know that the world thinks that like, you know, everything is like fast, and every time they see me, it's like Devon is always doing something big, you know? So it comes with a lot of pressure, but I just try to just take it day by day, not really overcompensate myself too much or like overthink it. I just wake up and I just do whatever God tells me to do.
Yes, love that. Okay, so what is the struggle that you experience that people probably think you don't experience?
I get really nervous these days. Yeah, like the older I get. When I was younger, I kind of used to be a little bit more like fearless because, you know, you're not thinking about so much that comes with it. But, you know, as you get older and more intentional with yourself and your brand and how you show up in the world, it kind of, you know, sometimes builds my little anxiety a little bit. But I still work through it, though. I never let it stop me. I never let it control me. But I definitely do get a little bit more nervous these days, but like I said, I just take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, totally.
I think that also shows how deep you're in it. You know what I mean? How much you love what you do.
Of course.
Nervousness is a good sign.
Yeah.
You know? So what's a moment that people always reference when they see you?
It's so many. Like it's different. You know, like I've been doing music so long. There's so many phases of me. Like sometimes people see me, they always reference me singing soca because that's how I started.
Yes.
You know, then you have like my fans that know me for being like one of the first and one of the most prominent female drill rappers in New York.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's like when people see me nowadays, like, yo, you got that song with Sizzla and all these different things. So it's different phases of life that people attach themselves to when it comes to Devon. But I'm happy that could be a part of their life story in some way.
Yes. I think that's amazing that you can kind of tell where people know you from how long they've been a fan based on what they bring up. That's fire. That's fire. Okay, so tell me that thing that you feel like really made your fans, maybe executives, take you seriously when it came to your brand.
Well, I was doing like freestyle videos and things like that on Instagram. Gotcha. I started going viral. And then, you know, I was going on a platform like Sway in the Mornings, the bars are I-95s, and just really making a name for myself. But it's not until I did a freestyle called Straight to It.
Okay.
Well, that it turned into my record called Straight to It, but it was originally just like a freestyle At the time, I really wasn't a big fan of doing drill, but at the same time, I didn't see any female representation of it. So I'm kind of always the girl that could be around the guys, but still be the, the strong woman in the room. So I kind of just stuck my neck out there and I made a freestyle. It kind of went crazy. And then from there, I just ended up blowing up, and that song blew me up from there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We love that. Okay. So I know you talked about your therapy journey, and I think it's important to really just pay homage to the fact that it's necessary. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. So how are you, where are you in that journey now?
I'm still trying. It's like a pull and tug with me. Like sometimes I want to do it. Other days I kind of feel like I don't want to overshare myself, but it's like a pull and tug. But I would say that your mental health is like priority. That's very important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to make sure that you're good up here in order for your hands and your feet to even follow.
Yeah.
So I do take the time out to pray a lot. Became very spiritual, and I've just built a very deep and close-knit relationship with God, and I feel like that's kind of what's been helping me. That's what's been helping me. Yeah, throughout the days.
Wow. Okay. When it comes to your consistency, I've been watching you on social media. I love the visuals. I love the aesthetics. And your two new singles you got, Make Me Wanna and Rainfall, just align so much with that cover art.
Yeah.
You holding the crown, and it's just giving me a new vibe. So what did it take for you to earn this moment? What did you have to give up? Whether that's mentality, mindset for this new project.
Yeah, I would definitely say a mentality thing for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let certain things die in order for things to get rebirthed.
Yes.
And I feel like I had to let go a lot of my ways or just my mindset or how I even want to be viewed as an artist overall, and just restart and just be fresh all over again. And the powerful thing about being an artist is that you have the ability to wake up every day and be who you want to be.
Yes.
So I always empower people to do that. And the journey wasn't easy. It's not a simple thing especially when you're so used to a certain routine or a certain pattern, or you're used to people viewing you or talking to you a certain type of way. So it's when you kind of got to just sit yourself down, be real with yourself, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. It's going to be a hard moment, but it helps you. And that breakthrough, you have to break in order to go through it. So that's the importance of it.
I love that so much. You have to break to go through it. It takes you to be flat face on the floor for you to really see yourself.
Yeah.
So what makes this project different than the projects you put out in the past?
This project is definitely fun. It's Devon. It definitely gets real as well. It has some records on there that's very much raw and storytelling. But for the most part, I would just say it's mature.
Okay.
It's Devon, but she's just not young anymore. And I'm very excited for my fans to hear it. It's different ranges for different people as well. I always try to make my projects very well-rounded.
Yeah.
So it's a song for everybody. If you're not a fan of this type of music, you'll be a fan of this song. If you're not a fan of this sound, you'll be a fan of something else. So
that's awesome.
It's just a very well-rounded, concise, fun project that tells people who I am at this phase of my life. Because I know a lot of people have questions, and I'm not really the type to... I'm on social media, but I'm not really the type to show my personality too much on social media or go live I'm not one of those types of people. So, but I definitely think that it makes my fans appreciate my work more.
Yes.
Because I know when they want to know what's going on with Devon, they got to tune into the music.
Yes.
I always try to keep the main thing.
Yeah.
I never really try to veer off and deter in other ways. And I think that that's why at this point, being 15 years in, I still have relevancy in music because I keep music as the priority.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what was your biggest inspiration?
For this project, in general?
Yeah.
For this project, I would say definitely my Caribbean roots. Yeah, I would say for this project, my Caribbean roots, because I came into the game doing music.
Right.
Soca music. And then when I blew up for drill, I still, even if you look back at my projects, Baby Go 2, I still had Caribbean records on there.
Yeah.
It just, we weren't pushing those records at the time, with my team at the time. But I always had it instilled in me. And then when I finally just started being able to be independent, do what I want, put out the type of sounds that I want, and I was getting the reactions that I was getting, I was like, wow, maybe I should kind of go back to my roots a little bit. And it's just been way more fun, way more free. I could be more expressive. And I feel like Caribbean people appreciate art more. They appreciate lyricism and flows and melodies and things that might get overlooked in other genres. But I've been having a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Okay, so how would you describe this project in one word and why?
Divine.
Hold on.
When you see him too.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so give me more. Why are you saying divine?
I said it for multiple reasons. Of course, my name, but two, I just definitely, especially with my last couple of projects, I just been moving with God. Like usually I try to move based off of what I see and hear around me, but lately I just been moving off of whatever God instills in me. So I, before I go to the studio, I pray, I ask for creativity. I ask for certain things that people might not even realize or they might overlook before they come into a studio session. But these are things that I really do. Like, God, give me the words today. Like, whatever we're going to talk about, let's just talk about it. And hopefully it becomes a great record. And I definitely think that that's pulled together so many different people, producers, engineers, places, things that has all helped create this project.
That's
so
amazing.
It's just a divine order, I would say.
Divine order. And I don't think people realize how important it is to really tap into God before you do anything.
That's the superpower.
That's the superpower,
yeah,
right?
That's the superpower,
where,
for sure.
Where you can kind of just be like, listen, I don't need any external validation for me to feel comfortable to get to this creative bag or whatever kind of bag. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Okay, so, we got to get into some records. Rainfall, I absolutely love the messaging.
Thank you.
Talking about the power of rain and what a blessing it can be when God removes things out of your life. Yeah. And just give me some more background on that record and kind of like where you were going.
Yeah, so going back to even like the inspiration. So I was creating my project over the summer. I never really put like deadlines on it until I start feeling like I have enough songs where I could pick, right? But as I'm creating the project, I like playing my music in front of different people just to get their reaction. I like real raw reactions. I'm never one. You don't have to stand next to me and tell me all my songs is like lit, you know? Yeah. So I'm in the studio with a huge dancehall artist. His name is Ioctane.
Okay.
And I'm playing all of my songs. He's like, this is fire, but I feel like you're missing a certain type of record. And then I'm like, what? So he's telling me, like, you have a very good voice. I feel like you should do a record. Like, I'm not going to go into detail and give y'all source, but he was saying X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went home that night and I was listening to beats and I kind of just went off of the pattern that he was telling me, just in the sense of like my melodies and how I should flow a little bit more. And then the concept of Rainfall came about just because as soon as I heard the beat, the first thing that came to my head was the la, la, la. And I just wanted to do something that was very free-spirited and open. And when I think about rainfall, I think about storms, but I also think about them passing as well. And when you think about rain, you also think about blessings. You know, when people pass and they say it rains, it's like they made it into heaven. So it's so many different multiple meanings, but it's all divine.
Yes.
And so when I was creating that record, I just kind of kept that topic and kept that basis. Like I didn't even have a concept until I got to the chorus. But when I was just writing, life gets so real, can't tell off a feel. I'm just in my crib singing about my real life and just letting it out, and it turned into a huge record, and it's doing amazing right now. I think we're at like 50,000 streams on Apple Music alone. Okay. It's like charting like on like the reggae charts and things like that. So it's going great.
That's amazing. That's really awesome. And I know you've been making a lot of changes in your life, from your new label to management. So tell me what skills outside of music that you've had to, you know, like just acquire to kind of be your own boss in this way.
Mad stuff. Still learning. I be late. I be like, you know, wouldn't lie. I'm a kid still. But yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, first it starts with being just way more intentional. You know, you have to really hold yourself accountable.
Yes.
Be on top of your business. Nobody can. And when you're your own boss, you have to wake up every day and choose to do your job.
Yes.
It's not like somebody saying, hey, Devon, this is what you have to do today, and we're going to send the car. You have to make things happen. If you want something done, you really got to go see the vision and get it done, even when people around you don't even see it, or even when it seems impossible to you. Because it's certain things that I've done in the past year and a half, and I'm just like, I don't even know how I was able to pull that off. Or like, I might think of the idea, and it might seem impossible, but then by the time it's done, I'm like,
girl, you did that. Like, you did that.
What we did?
I love that.
But we did it. So I would definitely just say, yeah, you have to hold yourself accountable. Just be more intentional, and it'll definitely work out. Everybody's story is kind of different when it comes to like bossing up.
Yeah.
But like I said, as long as you're just real with yourself, and where you are, it'll happen.
That's amazing. Yeah. We love divine order, because divine order makes things happen out of nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Literally. So you don't really need too much patting on the back. Listen, honey, we got it done. Okay. So when it comes to female artists, are there any female artists right now that you are inspired by and like taking anything that you've seen them do and applying it to your own career?
Well, of course, I love like the regulars, like Nikki, of course, Foxy Brown, Jada Kingdom. She's another one, especially in the Caribbean vein. We have a very close relationship, but even outside of our friendship, I've always been inspired by her musically. Like, I think she's super talented, super dope. And then, becoming close friends with her and seeing how she works and as she writes her music, she knows how to freestyle, she knows how to record herself.
Right.
And all of those things definitely always motivate me and keep me on my toes as well.
Right.
So yeah, I would probably say those artists for sure.
That's fire. Okay, so I want to get into just more about your spiritual and your emotional journey to where you are right now. So how did the changes that you've made like affect you financially, your happiness, relationships? Like, what are things that you've kind of learned about those things in making certain transitions? As an executive, right? Because you're the owner of your own label.
Yeah. I would say you definitely have to lose to gain. And I felt like God was just kind of cutting everything down. I feel like there was a lot of noise and I was getting caught up in the noise. And, God has his way of coming to get you. And in the moment, it might seem like persecution or it might seem bad. But when you look back at the grand scheme of things, you're thankful that it happened, because if it didn't happen, you wouldn't have been able to stop in your tracks. It just kept going down like a very bad lane. And I wouldn't say I was going down a bad lane, but I also wasn't making the best decisions. You're young, you lit, you outside, you associating yourself with the wrong people, you just doing anything with your brand. Sometimes you got to just have a moment where it's like, wake up.
Right. And
that's what it was for me. And I always read the Bible because it's a point where it says all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Right?
Yes.
So something that the enemy might have set my way for evil, God turned it around and made it good. So I don't take anything as like a loss. Everything is a lesson for me.
Yes.
And it's definitely built me up stronger, smarter, more creative, made me a little bit even more riskier, which is betting on myself and knowing that whatever I have planned to do, I'm going to get it done by any means possible, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, I would definitely say that came from a lot of prayers too. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to pray through certain things, develop certain words. I keep a lot of Bible verses in my heart and in my mind, like a key throughout the day, so I have a verse for everything. If something doesn't work out for me, or if I need a little bit more motivation, so I would definitely say those things help me a lot. Just staying in my Bible, praying, isolating myself for a little bit too. I think that's very important. Solitude. People want change, but they're around the same things. And you can come back to the same thing, but you have to be a different person. Yeah. And the only way that's going to happen is if you isolate yourself for a little bit. And don't let the devil trap you in those moments, because that's the time when he'll try to come and go in your mind. But you got to be strong enough to fight that power and just sit for yourself for a little bit and just listen to God, understand, plan, pray, and when it's time for you to come back, you'll know. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. That is powerful. Solitude is so powerful. Yeah. Right? Because you got to kind of, like you said, cut the noise. Yes. And just, what do you feel? Because sometimes it's easy to take other people's feelings and what they've been through and make them your own. Especially when you're an artist. Yes. A part of being an artist is kind of like people pleasing. Yes. Without you even realizing it. And it'll play a role into your real life, because when you're so used to having to, and especially me, being that I've been doing music since 7 years old, I'm 24 now. It's like it became a natural conditioning for me to have to please people, because that is what I am known for. Right. Going on a stage and pleasing people. So it will fall into your day-to-day life, and you start making decisions for other people more than yourself, or making decisions that benefit people more than it benefits you, just because you want to always be the person that they could call or they could rely on. Oh yeah, Devon, she. But it's like, nah, you got to choose yourself. And that comes with being alone for a little bit, not answering your phone, not going outside. The same people is going to be there when you left. And if they're not there anymore, then it was never really meant. Exactly. And that's really where you find out where your people, when you need to be by yourself. Yes. Okay. So what is some advice you would give any artist that wants to follow the journey in your footsteps? Like, what would you tell them?
I would definitely stay consistent. Yeah. Don't let anything break you. Don't lose motivation. You're going to have your moments where you might feel gassed out, or you might feel like, oh my gosh, this is a lot, I want to give up. But don't let that overtake you. You keep going. You motivate yourself. You pray. You stay as creative as possible. Try to soak in everything. Like I try to soak in a lot of experiences just even me sitting in a room, I might not say it, but I'm very observant because then I take it back into the booth. So I pay attention to a lot of people's mannerisms and things in a conversation. I might get a certain type of reaction out of people,
right?
Certain things. So it's like, okay, I know how to put that in a song and make it sound cool, like I'm even talking to you.
Right.
So I would just say stay very observant. It helps with your creativity, and read a lot, like expand your vocabulary a lot. I do not like when I hear an artist project and it's the same 5 words on each song. Blows mine. Turning it off. So yeah, read a lot for sure. And just, get different concepts. Be open to things. Try new things. Even try things that you wouldn't even picture yourself doing.
Right.
Because that might be
your thing.
Yeah, that might be your thing.
That's fire. So I know ownership is huge. And I don't even mean ownership of your music, right? Ownership of who you are as yourself is super huge when you talk about creating any brand.
Yes.
So what do you feel like you actually own from your current success? Like, what can you say is like, okay, I learned this about myself. I know this is a fact, and these things could have been different than when you were 17. Because now you in your grown girl era.
Yeah.
So what do those things look like for you?
I would probably just say like I'm learning to own, because I wouldn't even say I got it all together. I'm just learning to own who Devon is as a young woman now, and just like I said, just being a young entrepreneur and a young boss. And even with music aside, just as a person, I feel like the business will always fall in line when you work on yourself as a human first.
Yes.
And so just owning who I am spiritually, mentally, physically, it just helps. You know, like just certain things, even with my health, I stopped smoking weed. I started gaining weight again.
Same
my
here.
My fans can see it like on my face, like things that I've always overlooked in the past that I feel like is very important now.
It is.
It helps. So I would just say, that side of me is just me owning who I am as a real person, and not just
the
Devon,
artist.
Young Devyn.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so when did you realize that exposure wasn't enough, and you needed to tap more into maybe your negotiation skills, maybe certain networking that kind of has nothing to do with the artistry?
I would say I've kind of always been the person that I like to capitalize off of moments. So I would say when I was signed and my label will put me in certain rooms, and it's no diss, but it would only go but so far because there was no capitalizing off of it, right? And so if I find myself in a room, by the time I leave the room, I already have another opportunity coming out of that room.
I got it.
So once I started realizing that building relationships with real people, and on your way up, you got to be good to people, because on your way down, you're going to see those same people, or you just never know who's going to be the next one up, who you have to meet. All of these things played a role into just me realizing, all right, it's not just about being viral on TikTok or Instagram. You have to have real impact in real life, because I know a bunch of people that have way more views, way more followers, and can't pull off 98% of the stuff that I do in real life. But that comes from having a real life impact on things.
Yes.
Leaving a mark on people, you know? So definitely I would say that is very important.
That is fire. So I do want to play some games, because we just learned a lot about you, and I am so happy to see the growth. You are a beautiful girl. You are doing it. So we're going to play a game.
Okay.
It's called Hype versus Harvest, right? So what you're pretty much going to do is, some people are kind of like the myth theories, right? That these things are good for your career. So we're going to decide whether it's hype or if it's actually beneficial, which would be harvest.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing is going to be touring.
Oh, harvest for sure.
Okay. And that would be if it's your own tour, or are you opening?
Anything. I was on tour for about a year and a half when I first started doing music. So I was singing soca without a song.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about performing in front of 20,000 people.
Wow.
30,000 people. I'm singing other people's soca songs,
Okay.
But people are knowing me and learning about who I am because of my performance and me having that real life engagement with people. So I definitely think that that's a harvest for sure.
Okay. Fashion Week.
It's cool. Young stunner like me, it's Fashion Week every day.
You know what I mean?
I might put it on today.
Okay.
Put it on tomorrow.
I felt that.
So I would say, that's hype.
Okay.
That's all hype.
That's all hype. Okay. Going viral.
Dang, is there like a middle word for that?
Yeah.
Hypest.
Hype for.
Because I do think going viral is definitely important, but like I always say, it's what you do with that virality.
Yes.
And,
right.
I don't see people go viral today and we don't know about them tomorrow. So it also depends on what you're going viral for as well.
Right.
So it could be hype or it could be harvest, depending on what it is.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Industry mixers.
Hype.
Okay. I was looking at the camera. I'm like, because we know they love a good event. They love a good album release.
I love a little free drink.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
My little rap, my homies.
You know what I mean?
But when it comes to the reality of it, I think it's hype.
Okay.
I think it's hype. As long as you're making the right connections throughout your
right
time, I don't think you gotta go to every mixer and stuff. But it's lit though.
Okay. Okay. Celebrity friends.
I would say it can be a harvest because I have, like I said, real friendships like Jada Kingdom outside of just like we could get on the phone, talk for 2 hours, and it's nothing about music. So I would say that's definitely like harvest and just building good bonds with people. But at the same time, I know that this is a business.
Yeah. And
I had to learn harshly that there's not really any friends in the game.
Right. That part.
And even when you could be pulling people up, I don't really do things to get, right? But you can have good intentions for people and pure intentions for people, and just those intentions aren't the same, you know? And I'm the type of person, if I rock with you, I'm rocking with you blindly. Even when some people might say, hey, Dev, I don't think you should, be with this person or do that. If you ain't do nothing to me at that point, I'm rocking with you. But I had to learn over time to just be a little bit more discerned.
Yes.
And like I said, understand that this industry is an industry and it's a business, and you have to treat it as such and not put such of your personal feelings into it. So I have love for mad artists. Like any artist I see on the street, I heal them up and stuff. But like if something was to happen to me today, I'm not expecting you to go to my mom's house and check in, make sure I'm good. So I don't take anything personal.
Yeah, there's levels to relationships, right? Okay, next game.
Okay,
so it's gonna be red flag or green light.
Okay.
So, a lot of the time people like to do a lot of business. The business could be good business or it could be a little weird. So the statement I'm going to give you, you're going to let me know if the statement is a red flag or if it's a green light. Okay. So the first scenario is they can't pay now, but it's great exposure.
They can't pay now.
So there's no booking fee, but it's great exposure.
Oh, that's a green light.
Okay.
I've done many of those.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I just did the UBS Arena. I opened up for Idonia. That wasn't, it wasn't no bad behind that, but that was exposure, that was an experience. I'm able to put that under my belt. And because of that, that's how I met Sizzler. And because of that, that is how I sampled Sizzler and made the record that blew me up this past summer. So don't pay me. Give me the right.
You get what I'm saying? Okay, because that's a level of discernment also, because it's like, you got to be able to level out whether this opportunity makes sense for you, right? In your brand.
Think it's about that.
That's a fire. That's fire. Okay. So the next one is the contract is standard, but it can't be edited.
Oh, no. Oh, no. If I can't even add a period at the end, we ain't doing this.
Okay.
I don't play that.
Okay.
No. I got to at least, for even my sense of peace, move something. The dates, name, something has to happen. But yeah, nah. It's all right. You can keep the standard. You can
keep the standard contract. Yeah. Okay. All right. So last one, no paperwork, just vibes.
I'm doing that sometimes. I don't advocate it, right? If you want to do good business, get paperwork done, things like that. But vibes is vibes.
Vibes is vibes. Okay. Vibes is vibes, Yeah. But yes, thank you so much. You are so amazing. Of course. This was such a great conversation. We love to have you. So Decode the Hype is not a podcast. It's a lens. It doesn't tell people what to chase. It shows them what to see. Keep your eyes open, protect your peace, and don't chase the hype. Build harvest.